Welcome to the Arlington National Cemetery, located in Arlington County, Virginia. This grand military cemetery is one of the very largest cemeteries in the whole United States. The history of this cemetery dates back to the early 19th century. During this period, the area you're standing in was known as the Arlington Plantations, owned by a step-grandson of George Washington. In the center of the plantations lay the Arlington House, which still stands as a centerpiece of today's cemetery. The estate was later passed down to Robert E. Lee, a military academy graduate and a United States Army officer. During the outbreak of the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln offered Lee the command of the Federal Army. Lee did not want to give Lincoln an answer right away, as he wanted to see how the state of Virginia would act. Virginia had not yet taken side in the Civil War, but when they did, they chose the Southern Confederate side. Lee did the same thing and became a commander of the Army of Northern Virginia instead of a Union commander. This gave Lee a poor reputation amongst the Union officers. During the Civil War, the hospitals and burial grounds near Washington, D.C. became overcrowded. In 1864, Quartermaster General Montgomery C. Mays suggested that Lee's Arlington estate and its surroundings would be acquired and made into a cemetery for Union casualties. The acquired surroundings were also an important strategic area for the defense of Washington, D.C., as it lay on the opposite side of the Potomac River. After the Civil War, an heir to Lee's acquired property sued the government for the claiming of the land. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of Lee's heir, in which the land was returned. A year later, the land was sold back to the government, and it has ever since been used as a national cemetery. Today's Arlington National Cemetery is divided into several sections, depending on during which war the individual died or their occupation. Veterans from all the nation's wars are buried in the cemetery, from the American Revolution through the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. In total, more than 300,000 people are buried in the cemetery, making it the second largest of all the 130 national cemeteries in the United States. The largest one is the Calverton National Cemetery on Long Island, New York. This cemetery also holds more than the 300,000 plus graves. Within the cemetery you can find several memorials, often dedicated to a specific war, a specific regiment, or to an individual. You can, for example, find a white statue dedicated to all the Army nurses, known as the Nurse Memorial, and the USS Maine Memorial, which consists of a salvaged mast from the sunken ship USS Maine. Near the center of the cemetery, you will find the Arlington Memorial Amphitheater. The Marble Theater was built between 1915 and 1920 as a place for honoring U.S. soldiers. Today, state funerals and memorial days are held annually on this site. It is also the home of the Tomb of the Unknowns, also known as the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The tomb can be found just east of the theater, on the top of a hill overlooking Washington, D.C. The tomb has become one of the most popular places in this cemetery. It is the grave of unidentified soldiers from several major wars, including the First and Second World War, the Vietnam War, and the Korean War. The tomb, however, doesn't only honor the specific soldiers, but rather all soldiers who died for their country, but who were never identified. Today, the Arlington National Cemetery conducts more than 6,000 burials each year. The funerals, including internments and inurnments, average well over 20 per day. 30 minutes before the first funeral until 30 minutes after the last, the flag in the cemetery are flying at half-staff. The cemetery is, however, not only a place of grief, but also a place to remember all what these people fought for and to honor their ultimate sacrifice.